An AI just scored 150 IQ on a certified human intelligence test, and nobody saw it coming. OpenAI's GPT-5 Pro model didn't just pass some arbitrary benchmark. It outscored 99.96% of every human being who has ever taken the MESNA Norway standardized IQ assessment. Let that sink in. The machine is smarter than virtually all of us, on a test designed to measure the sharpest human minds on the planet. Here's everything you need to know. To understand why this matters, we need to step back and talk about what the MESNA Norway test actually is. Unlike casual online IQ quizzes, the MESNA test is a rigorous, psychometrically validated intelligence assessment used by Mensa's Norwegian chapter to screen for membership in one of the world's most elite high IQ societies. A score of 130 qualifies you for Mensa membership, placing you in the top 2% of humanity. A score of 145 puts you firmly in the territory of theoretical physicists and chess grandmasters. GPT-5.4 Pro just hit 150. That is not a rounding error. That is a seismic shift. OpenAI's GPT-5.4 Pro didn't arrive quietly. This is an iterative release in the GPT-5 family, but the capability jump it represents is anything but incremental. The model broke OpenAI's own internal records on this benchmark, meaning the company itself was surprised by how far it had traveled in such a short window of time. The MESNA score of 150 wasn't a targeted optimization either. OpenAI did not specifically train this model to ace IQ tests. The score emerged naturally from broader capability improvements in reasoning, pattern recognition, abstract thinking, and multi-step logical inference. That distinction is critical. Teaching a model to pass a test is one thing. Building a model that genuinely gets smarter is another. What makes this result particularly striking is the nature of the MESNA test itself. It is heavily weighted toward fluid intelligence, the kind of raw reasoning ability that lets you solve problems you have never seen before, identify hidden patterns, and work through complex logical sequences without prior knowledge. These are precisely the cognitive skills that researchers once believed would be the last frontier for artificial intelligence. Language models were supposed to be good at retrieving and remixing information. They were not supposed to be good at thinking. GPT 5.4 Pro is now doing both, at a level that exceeds virtually all human competition. The reaction from the AI research community has been split between awe and alarm. On one hand, scientists and engineers who have dedicated their careers to pushing AI capabilities forward are celebrating a genuine milestone. On the other hand, AI safety researchers are pointing out that this is exactly the kind of capability jump that makes alignment and oversight significantly harder. If a system can outthink 99.96% of humans on abstract reasoning tasks, the question of how we keep that system aligned with human values becomes urgent in a way it has never been before. Several prominent researchers have already called for an emergency review of OpenAI's deployment timelines. For markets, the signal is equally powerful. Investors have long debated whether AI capability gains were reaching a plateau, whether the era of dramatic benchmark-shattering improvements was coming to an end. GPT 5.4 Pro's MESNA score is a direct answer to that question, and the answer is no. Capability is still accelerating. The companies building on top of these models and the industries that integrate AI into their core workflows are now operating with a fundamentally different tool than they had even 6 months ago. Watch for 3 developments in the coming weeks. First, OpenAI's competitors, including Google DeepMind, Anthropic, and Meta AI, will almost certainly respond with benchmark results of their own. Second, the AI safety debate will intensify, with regulators in the EU and US likely to use this milestone as a catalyst for new oversight frameworks. Third, enterprise adoption curves will steepen as procurement teams realize the capability gap between AI and human analysts has crossed a psychologically significant threshold. We are living through the moment when artificial intelligence stopped being a very impressive tool and started being something harder to define. A 150 IQ is not a product feature. It is a statement about what kind of entity we are now dealing with.